Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Today we're going to talk about complete ski packages and kind of how to choose what package is going to be right for you. These are all really affordable ski packages. They come with skis, boots, bindings, and poles, essentially all the kind of hard goods equipment that you need to get out on the slopes. Now we spend a lot of time looking at the most expensive skis you can buy, the top of the line models, and kind of breaking down nitty-gritty details of their performance. We know that there are a lot of skiers that like that stuff, but we also know there are a lot of just kind of recreational skiers that just want something simple, affordable, and trustworthy that they can take onto the slopes and have a really good time. And we're really proud of this part of our business of finding boots and skis and bindings and packaging them all together to create equipment that works really well together and also equipment that's really affordable. That's something that we really focus on, is how can we get the prices as low as we can to then pass it on to you. And yeah, just in general, like the type of skier that would choose a package like this, you probably don't ski every weekend or every day, but you still like skiing. You know, you like getting out there and having fun on the slopes. Maybe you've been renting in the past and you kind of want to get away from the rental line. These are all kind of designed for that skier, and I've broken it up into about 4 different groups here. And we're going to kind of talk about how things change going through those groups. And instead of talking about each specific ski, I'm going to kind of point out some things to look for as you're navigating the packages available on Ski Essentials, because there are a lot. And there is a range in price too. So you might be wondering, like, hey, what's the difference between this $450 package and this $700 package? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to start all the way over here on this side. We have 3 skis over here. We have 2 from Dynastar. That's the Speed Zone 6 for men, the Intense 8 for women from Dynastar, and then we also have the Rossignol Nova 2. Those are all 3 of those are really good examples of the least expensive packages that you're going to find on Ski Essentials. So great for people that want to get on the slopes without breaking the bank, or as affordably as possible. Now, what you're getting in skis like that, you're getting pretty straightforward, basic designs in the shape of the ski. They're really good on groomed slopes at moderate speeds and slow speeds. That's what they're designed for. You're getting a blend of materials in those skis, some synthetic materials, some wood in the core. Some skis actually blend the two. They're all lightweight, and really what you want to look for when if that type of package speaks to you is price. So pretty much anytime you see a package on SkiEssentials.com that's under $500, it's really, that's the least expensive package you're going to find, and it's really good for somebody who just, as simple as possible, just wants good, trustworthy equipment to get out on the slopes. Vastly better, or at least comparable and brand new compared to what you're going to get at the rental shop. There are huge benefits to owning your own gear instead of renting. The boots are going to fit consistently. You're going to get used to the performance of a single pair of skis, which translates to comfort and thus confidence, and usually will make you ski better too. Now, another thing, and something that we're going to talk about throughout this, is the flex of the boots. So I brought a couple examples. Here we have the Nordica Cruise 70, which is actually a boot that we use in a lot of our packages. And we also have the Women's Cruise 65, both from Nordica. And now what I want to talk about here is the flex. So as you move up in these packages, you're going to see slightly stiffer and stiffer flexes. Now, these are actually 2 of the stiffer flexing boots in these less expensive category, or less expensive options over here, but you want to keep that in mind. So if you're a beginner skier, you actually want a boot with a lower flex. So all of these boots, they're all going to have a flex rating on them. Down there in those least expensive options, those flex ranges are going to range from about 50 to 70, give or take. So look for price and look for the flex pattern of the boot. If you want something that's as easy as you can get, as inexpensive as you can get, you're going to be over there under $500 with a pretty soft flexing boot. Now, when we move up into this range, we're really still talking about pretty comparable equipment. The difference here is we're moving up in ski technology just a little bit, and these packages are going to range more from 500 and up while still staying under 600. So another, once again, price is really a good thing to look at when you're navigating these packages. And this really is kind of still for that same skier, or at least a very similar skier. What I look at over here, all 6 of these skis are really good for somebody who has been renting. Like I said about those first 3 skis, you can say the same about all 6 of these. You've probably been renting. Maybe you're brand new to skiing and you don't like the idea of renting. You don't want to deal with rental lines or rental shops. These are all really, really, really good choices. Now, you do get, like I said, some increases in performance, and this Atomic Vantage is a really, really good example. So we've talked about the high-end Vantage skis a lot, and some of that performance and some of that technology actually trickles down to these. So they have the ProLite construction, they have carbon tank mesh. These are all pretty technical terms that we talk about when we're talking about the high-end skis, and that stuff is trickling all the way down to this Vantage 75C. So, all of these skis are still geared towards firm snow, geared towards groomers. They're not like, none of the shapes are really designed for going off trail. None of them are particularly wide, but we're increasing the technology or the quality of materials in the skis. So if you want kind of the next step up from those skis that we started with, this grouping here is a really good place to look. And again, you're going to be looking at kind of the $5 to $550 or $560 price range. And a quick note on boot flex, you are going to see a little bit bump up in boot flex, but not a ton. So like this is a 65 flex Dalbello that I have with me, and we have this boot paired with this Rossignol Experience. So you get a little bit of step up in ski performance, but still a nice, comfortable, soft flexing boot. This is another great example here. Rossignol Evo 70, we're still in that 70 flex range, but nice, comfortable, and it's paired with this Atomic. So you're getting, again, increased technology in the ski, a pretty simple, soft flexing boot, which is really, really beneficial. These are a couple women's options here in front of me. Same thing, 65 flex Dalbello. And this is actually the Pure Comfort from Rossignol. So this is an even softer flexing boot. So what you're getting here, like I said, you're getting softer flexing boots still, but you're getting a jump up in performance in skis. And that takes us over to this side of the wall. And over here, things start changing a little bit more dramatically. So over here, there's kind of a couple things going on. There's more variables as we're moving up to this level package. And here we're in the kind of almost $600 and up range, with a few of these still falling under $600, but a couple of them hitting that 700 mark. And we'll talk about why that is. So first up, this one I want to call out specifically because I said there were a few more variables when you're getting up to this price. And again, you really want to focus on boot flex when you're looking at these packages. I can't emphasize it enough, but price and boot flex are really the 2 first things you should be looking at to kind of get a sense of what that package is and who it's for. This is a Lang LX90. So we were in the 70 flex range and below over on this side of the wall. All of a sudden, we're up here in the 90 flex boot range. Now, a 90 flex boot is pretty stiff for a beginner. It's not an expert flexing boot by any means, but it's definitely getting more advanced. So a boot like this is going to be better for somebody, you're still a more recreational skier. You ski on weekends here and there. You're not like out there charging, but you've probably got more accomplished technique than the packages over here. Now, this boot is paired with this Quattro 7.2 from Blizzard, which is still a pretty simplistic ski. But what's nice here is at that 72 millimeter waist width and with this boot, you're starting to get more groomer precision. So maybe you're working up to carving turns, stuff like that. A package like this is really good with a little bit softer or a little bit stiffer of a boot and a nice narrow responsive ski. Now this Atomic, we just talked about the Atomic Vantage 75 over there. Now we're up into the 79C here. Now this is a pretty significant step up, and a big reason why I say that is because you're getting, it doesn't seem like much, but that extra 4 millimeters of width actually translates to a more versatile ski. So that ski is actually packaged with a softer flexing boot than this 90. So you're not always going to see a stiff flexing boot paired with a ski over here, but you might. And that's kind of what you need to look at. So if you feel like you need a stiffer boot, maybe you're a really heavy guy or a really heavy skier, that's when you might, or a really aggressive, that's when you would want to go up a little bit in boot flex. Otherwise, you can stay with those softer flexing boots, and if you just want a little bit more ski performance, a little bit more versatility, or just a little bit higher quality of materials in your skis, that's where these skis over here really, really come into play. Now, one package in particular that I want to point out is this Tecnica Mach Sport 85. This is a women's 85 flex boot, and then you also, it's paired with this Salomon S47. Now, this package right here, this is one that hits $700, and this is starting to be, you know, not quite like an advanced skier's package, but pretty close. Like an athletic intermediate, a pretty accomplished intermediate, or even like a less aggressive advanced skier can really, really enjoy this. Even somebody who's been skiing their entire life and is just kind of toning things down a little bit, this is still a really, really, really good package. And when we get up into this $700 range, you know, look at that price, $700, look at the boot flex, $85. That's going to tell you that this is a more advanced, a higher performing package. You know, you get better materials in this ski, you get a little bit of a partial vertical sidewall underfoot. We're not going to get into nitty-gritty technical details, but overall, you're getting a higher performing ski. And that's pretty much the gist of how all these packages work, with a couple exceptions. When you're navigating the packages, the available packages on skiessentials.com, eventually you will come across things that do not fall into the categories or the descriptions that I just went through. And I tried to bring in a couple examples of those. So, like I said, we're really proud of doing this. This is something that our company has done for a long time. We will continue to do, and we seriously put a lot of time and resources into the ability to do this. This is a pretty darn high-performing ski. This is the Elan Amphibio 84 Ti. Now, it's a 2019 model, but it's still a really, really good ski. It's the technology in this ski is still current. It's a high-performing ski. This is something that you could put on the foot of an expert skier, and it's going to satisfy their desire for precision, edge grip, performance, all that stuff. This we have paired with a pretty stiff boot. It's another 90 flex boot. I didn't bring it into this comparison, but we have this paired with a very, very similar boot to this Lang LX90. I believe it's a Sport Machine 90 from Nordica. Now, look at the price on this. I think it's $750. So it's not that much higher than what we looked at over here, but it's the performance of this ski is you know, it's kind of to another level. So you will see skis like this packaged, and you kind of gotta read through the lines on stuff like this. They are always going to have a little bit higher price, but this Amphibio compared to the S-Force that we just looked at, this really is stepping up the performance from there. So if you see a flat ski that is packaged, that's kind of something special. And then I also want to talk about this Armada over here, because it's pretty much the only twin tip that we have in our packages. Now a twin tip, you know, that should be an identifier as well. So when you're going through all this stuff, if you see a twin tip and it's in one of our packages, that's really designed for like a tween-aged kid, you know, a preteen kid, a teenager, a young teenager, a smaller, lighter, younger skier who wants something playful. And this is another one that falls under $500. It's over in the price range of the first skis that we looked at. So look at price, look at the boot flex, and the last thing that I'll leave you with is look at the width of the skis. And I think this Legend is a really good example from Dynastar. And this is another good example of like something that we really try hard to be able to offer stuff like that. This is a much more versatile, higher performing all-mountain ski than a lot of what we've looked at. It's wider, it's 84 underfoot, it has more rocker in the tip and tail, but it's still included in our packages. You know, the price is higher, so this is more suitable for a upper level intermediate, you know, maybe even an advanced skier who wants a simple package that they can take anywhere on the mountain. So I thought that was a really good example of how things can differ among all these packages. You know, we've got the really inexpensive stuff. It's pretty, the process moving from those up into here is pretty simple. And then here it's a little bit of a break into more detailed differences between the options. So yeah, just to summarize, I think when you're navigating these packages on skiessentials.com, start with price. After that, look at the flex of the boot. And after that, start looking at the width of the ski that you're selecting. If you're spending time on trail, all of these narrower mid-70 skis are great. If you're starting to go off trail a little bit, you might want to bump up into the 80 range or at least a little bit wider. And then the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is, I know that this is still a lot of stuff to choose between and navigate through. So as always, don't hesitate to leave us a comment. Ask a question. You know, you can call us directly, pick up the phone, and you'll get a skier on the phone. We're more than happy to answer questions or help guide you to the package that's right for you. We just wanted to do this video to give you a little bit more of a fighting chance when you start to navigate through these packages. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you guys out there on the slopes.